We'll dive into our first topic today after a quick word from FanDuel. The NBA Finals are going on. The Pacers lead 2-1, and you can bet on Game 4. Anything you want with FanDuel. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off and live with player props, performance trends, same-game parlays. Fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. If you're new to FanDuel, it's the perfect time to sign up. Head to FanDuel.com/UCSS and place a $5 bet. If it wins, you get $200 in bonus bets. Once again, that first $5 bet, if it hits, you get $200 in bonus bets if you use the promo code link, FanDuel.com/UCSS. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. We'll get into the NBA Finals in overtime today, but I wanted to shout out a winning ticket from Eddie who sent it in today. Our guy Eddie won $140.95. He bet the Pacers money line and Lou Dort to score over 10 points. Both those hitting turned 20 into 141. If you have a winning FanDuel ticket, make sure you send it to us as well. Shout out to Eddie. That's a very nice win on a FanDuel
Mike,
ticket.
I just one question on the NBA Finals real quick.
Shoot.
Do you still think the Pacers have no chance to win the series?
They got a chance. I still don't think it happens, but they certainly have a chance.
If they win, it's bad for the NBA.
Why?
We'll get to
By the way, I don't care what's bad or
We'll
good
get
for
to
the
all
NBA.
that in overtime.
I don't know why anybody cares what's bad or good for the NBA unless you're a player or a media member. But I don't care. But I don't think it's bad. But anyway, go ahead.
We'll get to that later. What I want to start with today is some reaction from one Jason Lloyd on the first 2 days of Brown's minicamp. He was out at Berea. We have not had Jason back on since. And we've certainly seen plenty of videos. We've heard Kevin Stefanski talk. We heard maybe all four quarterbacks talk at this point. Yeah. Some of the defensive players are talking today. We heard from Denzel Ward. But, Jason, you were out there for 2 days in Berea checking out the quarterback battle, some of the other position battles in person. What were your big takeaways? Who stood out to you using your own two eyes as your observation tool?
My thoughts haven't really changed much on the quarterbacks. I mean, it sounds convoluted. I think Kenny's going to start. I think Joe's looked the best. But
I think Kenny's going to start?
I've said that all along.
So?
I still think so.
I thought you changed your mind.
No, Mike said that yesterday. He goes, "What?" And I said, I never really flipped.
Oh.
But I've said, Joe still got it. Joe's, to me, has looked like the best quarterback. But, I'm not an NFL head coach or GM. To me, watching him, I like Joe. But I don't know what the benefit of playing a 40-year-old quarterback, so I think Kenny's going to start. I've always thought Kenny was going to start. I think Kevin really likes him.
Yeah.
I think they like the way that he sees it. I think they'll like the way he can move around, doesn't throw interceptions, and ultimately they're just chipping and putting and biding time until next year when they can draft the next guy. And then
if it's that simple, then why did you use 2 draft picks on quarterbacks?
Because the fifth thing, the one on Shedeur was a little eye-opening, but I think you got a year to kill, so you might as well see what you got in these guys. You know what I mean? You might as well take a shot. Maybe you run into one. I don't think Kenny's going to play the whole year. I'm just saying who's going to start week 1.
To me,
does Joe make the team?
Not if Kenny Pickett's starting.
I don't know. Everybody keep talking about every time I.
What's the point? If you're starting Kenny Pickett, honestly, Kenny Pickett starting is the dumbest thing I can imagine. Because if you're actually trying to win, you start Joe Flacco. It's that simple. He's the only one that gives you a legitimate chance to win to start the season.
Okay.
In my opinion. And if you're thinking about the future, you can convince yourself into any guy with enough opportunities being good. I don't know how anybody could see Kenny Pickett as a good quarterback. The guy's got smaller hands than I got a big toe. I don't know what is happening here. This guy can't play. How are we not seeing this?
All right, so play this out. You start Joe.
Yeah.
Joe plays how many games you want him to play?
6.
I think it depends.
What's the difference if you play Joe, if you play Kenny 6 games? What's the difference?
Well, first of all, I don't. To me, you start the quarterback that either gives you a better chance to win or has the most upside, and I don't think he fits either of those categories.
I think Kenny has more upside than Joe because Joe's 40.
I hear you, but I would rather start either of the rookies than start.
But I think that I don't know that they want to throw these guys into the Lions' den.
I hear you, and I'm not even saying that I'm definitely right. I'm just saying, in my opinion, it feels like a waste to play Kenny Pickett because for me, I see no upside in him. I'm not saying it's impossible that there's upside. I'm just saying I don't see it. I see personally that Shedeur Sanders has the most upside. This disingenuous conversation about, technically, factually, that Dylan Gabriel was drafted higher. I get it. I can't imagine there are many people in the NFL that think Dylan Gabriel has a better chance of being a quarterback in the NFL than Shedeur Sanders. He dropped because of other things.
Yeah.
He didn't necessarily drop out of the first round because of other things, but he dropped all the way to the 5th round because of other things. It seems pretty clear to me that he's the more talented player of the 2 rookies. And so I just don't. And plus, if you're trying to not start the rookies because you think they're not ready, there's going to be way more external pressure to play the rookies if Kenny Pickett is starting versus Joe Flacco.
I don't think you can worry about external pressure.
Well, but the Browns always do.
You can't worry about that. But
How has he looked, Dylan?
I thought he had his best day that I've seen him throw Tuesday. I thought Tuesday was his best day.
Okay.
He had, I think there was a couple clips of him. He had a really nice touchdown pass. Yesterday he was fine. He was okay. But Tuesday was the one day where I thought like, yeah, okay.
Okay.
You can
So
see
What
it.
are the odds a 5'10" quarterback is going to succeed in the NFL?
I hear you. I don't think it's great. I don't think
It's slim because what's the shortest? Bryce, Kyler, and Baker? Is that the shortest?
But Baker's 6 foot.
Russell Wilson?
I mean, but Bryce and Kyler at least are elite athletically.
What about Russell?
This guy's, I guess, fine athletically, but he's not
What about
elite.
Russell?
How tall is Russell?
Probably 5'9",
5'10",
5'10".
5'11". Is what he's listed at.
Well, you got one guy who's not elite athletically that was good player.
I wouldn't totally dismiss Dylan, but you would like the guy to be 3 or 4 inches taller.
I agree.
For sure.
Yeah.
But he's not, so this is the reality that we're in. Yeah, I think Shedeur's looked better than Dylan. I've said that all along. I thought in this camp, from everything I've seen, I thought Shedeur looked better than Dylan. I thought Joe has looked the best of all of them, but I think Kenny's going to start week 1.
I think that the safety, I think like to put them out there and be confident in them, I feel like that's more of a Dylan thing. But if you want the guy that actually can be your franchise quarterback that can change things, then you go with Shedeur. And I just, from a standpoint of, I just feel like it's something about the fact that people just gravitate to him. Like I know right now I think he took reps with the ones. What was that? Yesterday, 2 days.
Shedeur?
Yeah,
I didn't take any.
he has not still.
No,
I seen a report that said he has some reps with the ones.
I have not seen one.
That's
crazy. And
crazy.
Kevin was asked yesterday about his lack of reps with the starters. No, he hasn't taken any.
He's
What did Kevin say?
He's clearly 4th on the depth chart.
Does the depth chart
That's
matter?
what I've been saying all along.
Who cares what the depth chart is in June? Does that matter?
But
Has
we're
ever
in
mattered?
It doesn't,
we're
but
in
like
June, so this is where we're at.
Kind of
Right.
ridiculous, like that everybody else can get 1 reps, but he.
Well, I agree with that.
That's
but
ridiculous.
What did Kevin say about not getting reps with the one?
Don't read into the.
Well, then why didn't he just do it? Or why doesn't he just do it? So he stops getting asked the question.
Like that's ridiculous though. Like I thought at this point, especially the day that Joe rested, and it was just the 3 quarterbacks going, he definitely could have took some 1 reps.
I haven't seen it.
That's ridiculous.
It is. It really is.
So what was the point? At this point, I feel like now you playing with him. Like why do that?
I don't know.
Like if everybody's coming out and saying he looks good, the ball comes out, he's making good plays. ESPN Cleveland got him as the greatest.
Oh my God, they're ridiculous.
Got him as the greatest. His efficiency whatever their chart, it's like the dude throw 1 or 2 incompletions every day and throws nothing but touchdowns. So if that is the case, how has he not got a rep with what? That's inexcusable.
Maybe they don't think he's any good.
But Dylan Gabriel, on the other hand, I've seen I don't know if he has or hasn't. People say he's throwing interceptions. Some people say balls is
Tyvis,
bad.
we can't listen.
I know this is why I should have went yesterday.
Most of the people that are reporting things have no credibility.
I should have went yesterday and seen it.
I don't know. We don't know what's really happening. Jason was actually there. Zach's been actually there. Those are the people we have on this show. They've been there. I can't the people that I don't trust. I don't care. Like ESPN is a clown show right now.
Either they are just boosting his stats, or the Browns is playing with him. Like that's one of the 2 things is true. ESPN Cleveland is just boosting his stats and just feeding the Shedeur crowd.
You're going off stats when he's not going against the ones.
So that's one, but still,
so they're counting stats.
He at least should have earned the right.
I think we all agree on that. But Tyvis, again, like We can't get caught up in the stats for any of these guys. You know that better than anybody.
He just said he was the second best looking quarterback
But
there.
that has nothing to do with stats.
It's not the stats.
I ain't worried. I'm not talking about just the stats.
No, but that's what we're saying. Are the coaches looking at these effing statistics?
No.
Right, exactly.
But that's not what I'm talking about. If Zach Jackson and him and everybody else that we talked to have said that Shedeur looks good, he looks really good.
Yes.
He looks better. And we got Zach that say Dylan Gabriel ain't even an NFL quarterback.
That's true.
So how is it that this man can't get a rep with the ones, but that non-NFL quarterback can?
We all
what
agree with
sense
that.
Does that make?
It makes no sense.
Clearly, the guys running the team disagree with us.
Man,
it doesn't make any
and they're
sense.
the ones
what are y'all trying to? What is the goal of this year?
Ty, can I give you some solace?
For the record, I am not an NFL head coach. I've never claimed to be. I'm not an NFL scout, not an NFL GM. When I walk onto the field and I look at the field and I watch him throw and and Dylan's throwing checkdowns and Shedeur's throwing it 25 yards on a dime down the field, I can only go by what I see.
What makes Kevin Stefanski more qualified than you, Jason? He didn't play in the league. You may be more qualified than
his
he is.
checkbook for one.
Okay, maybe
Ty, I'm going to give you some solace real quick, because I think we're all in agreement. And Bull, you just said it. We disagree with how the Browns are handling it, at least up to this point.
Of course. It doesn't make any sense.
Tyvis, here's the good news. The Browns have botched every quarterback decision they made in the last 30 years. So because they are handling it this way probably means, or at least could mean, they're making the wrong decision too.
Okay, so
that doesn't do anybody any good.
My thing is this. What if we get to a point where you have to make a decision on a rookie?
Yeah.
They're not cutting Dylan Gabriel.
They're not cutting Dylan Gabriel.
They're not going to cut either of them.
That's why I asked, and Zach knows the nuance of the roster better than I do.
Yeah.
And when we had him on, I said, is there a world where you carry four? And he said, yeah.
Yeah, he did say that.
Maybe they carry four. Maybe they find a way to carry all four.
But if they don't,
that's
it's either
ridiculous, though.
I agree. To me, either Flacco or Pickett are gone. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. We'll see. One of the veterans will be gone.
That's what I said when they drafted both rookies, was that Joe was gone.
And maybe one of the four guys gets hurt, and then the problem solves itself. I mean, Mary Kay's still saying that Deshaun Watson is in the mix. I mean, listen, we got crazy times out here.
It is kind of unbelievable.
I tell you what.
In the mix. How can he be in the mix?
You want to throw a wrinkle in all this. Let him be ready for the season. Oh man.
You know what?
Is it gonna be Deshaun and two rookies?
I would rather Tyvis Powell play quarterback for the Browns than Deshaun Watson, and I mean that wholeheartedly. I 100% mean that.
I just said
that's absurd.
That is 100% accurate.
Nah, I'll tell you what, I'm throwing check downs because
that's all Deshaun does.
That's all he did. I just said 6 minutes ago you can't worry about public pressure and all that.
Uh-oh, you about to back?
No, I'm just saying, if four goes out there, there will be a revolt.
Oh, my God.
Of this fan base.
You think there's a player on the team that wants him playing? I can't imagine.
I feel like he got friends.
Not many.
I mean,
They all moved up to watch him, wrist up, huh?
You know all the veterans, and you know this because you played. The veterans all want Flacco to play, right?
Yes. Probably.
Of course, because they want to win.
Correct.
It's easy.
This is literally Joe Bitonio's last season in the NFL. Why would he not want to win?
You think Myles Garrett has Kenny Pickett playing quarterback? These guys, we could say all we want. The Browns stink. They can't win. They can't win a Super Bowl. The players can't think that way. Maybe down deep they do.
They know. They know they're not going to the Super Bowl.
I know that, but
they know.
Listen,
but they want to win every game.
You want to go to the playoffs?
You want to win.
If everything goes absolute best case scenario, the Browns could go to the playoffs. That's not impossible.
No, it's not.
Can they win the Super Bowl? No, they're not winning the Super Bowl with any of these guys at quarterback. But could they get to the playoffs if everything broke right for them?
Sure.
Yes, they could. And would Bitonio rather go out off a playoff season than a 3-14 season?
Yes, of course. Every player wants to win every game, every Sunday. Of course, yes.
I refuse to sit here and believe. I can't let this go. I refuse to believe this man has not taken a rep with the was.
Yeah,
I don't want to believe that. That can't be true. That can't be right.
Jason, you were out there for the whole thing, right?
I mean, I'm not out here today. Obviously, I'm sitting
here.
But I was there. I was there the last 2 days.
There's no way that is correct.
Zach Jackson's reporting Flacco is getting the first team reps today. So that's
I don't understand. Why?
Why?
Why does Joe need first team reps in June?
Well, you still got to get him ready.
Is today?
If you think he's the starting quarterback, then why is Patrick Mahomes taking reps in June? Why is Lamar Jackson taking reps in June?
Because those guys are the quarterback. Well, there's no chance anybody else is going to start.
But they're still installed. Like people, it's not like people roll out there with
changing
the exact same
offense pretty drastically.
All right, then announce him as the starter. Then let's go. I like doing that.
Wait, how did you go from he doesn't need any reps to announce him as the starter?
This is the first of two spectrums.
I'm just frustrated because our GM is terrible. I'm not sure about our coach, even though I used to really like him and everybody's obsessed with him.
You flip-flopping again. Huh?
I'm just not sure.
Well, I got the answer.
There's this lot of propaganda that he makes quarterbacks better. I don't know what quarterbacks had their best year with him.
Real quick, I found the exact quotes from Stefanski on the quarterback reps not looking.
And folks, he's been coach here long enough. Stop typing Stefanski with a Y. Let's go. Get your act together.
I keep seeing PH.
Or PH.
These were he was asked two different times yesterday about the order of the quarterback reps and why people shouldn't look into him too much. These were his two quotes from his media availability yesterday. The first one, quote, "Like I've told you guys, let's not look too much into who's out there and when. We're in the installation phase, in the teaching phase, so not much to look into with that." Second quote,
Use the question for a frame of reference.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Do you have the question there?
No, I'm just Zach typed out the answers. I'm reading
right, go
from
ahead.
Zach. Quote, "We're so far from that type of thought process. Honestly, we're in our installation phase. It's the off season. It's OTA, so we're going to keep the focus there. Once you get into training camp, of course, you're going to get ready to play games and ultimately getting ready for playing the season. But right now, that's not our main focus."
That's the same answer to both. It's a bullshit answer. And he's got it. We need an answer. We need a real answer. Kevin Stefanski talks in circles. Stefanski, Berry, Antonetti, Chernoff, they all go to the same nerd school of answering questions.
Wait a minute.
I'm getting sick of this
We
crap.
have an update on the order of quarterbacks today. Tyvis.
Go ahead.
This is according to Zach Jackson, the order of quarterbacks with the 11 on 11s today. Flacco first, Pickett second, Gabriel third. Haven't seen Shedeur yet.
That's how it's been.
So wait a minute. Steve Becker said he wanted me to let you know that Kevin Stefanski got the most. You said what quarterback had their best year?
Yeah.
Philip Walker did.
I just don't understand what the Browns are doing, but they never do anything right. So you're right, Mike. They F up everything.
I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say he's wrong as far as installation parts.
Yeah.
But like at some periods,
But why won't he answer the question?
He did answer.
No, he didn't. He said it doesn't matter. That's not a legitimate answer.
I mean, that's not.
Why? We asked. The question was why hasn't he been with the first team? And his answer is evading the question. It's not a real answer.
He never answers anything on the record.
My thing is.
So what's he saying off the record? Do we have anything? Let's rat him out.
What I don't understand is both quarterbacks are coming from the closest to Kevin Stefanski's offense. They say was Pat Shurmur at Colorado, correct?
I don't know.
That's what they say. That's what they say.
Who's they? Who is they?
This is what I heard over the draft process. Everybody said Shedeur is the easiest because he played in a similar offense. Pat Shurmur was with Kevin, taught Kevin stuff, blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
But if it comes to like the classroom, maybe that's what it is. Maybe in the meeting rooms, Shedeur is not picking it up as fast as Dylan. Maybe yes, and that's why he's running with the 14 because it's more.
And he doesn't want to say it because you don't embarrass him.
Yeah, or maybe it's like more slower. You got time to make mistakes or things like that. You're trying to figure. It could be. I'm not 100. I'm just trying to figure out what it is. Because if you're telling me that you've seen Dylan Gabriel take reps with the ones. Yeah. That's happened.
Absolutely.
I'm going to tell you something else
that don't make sense.
Something else I just saw. Mike, play that montage again because you got something that's annoying me. And this is like maybe other teams do it, but this is loser mentality.
My boy DC.
Let me show you loser mentality. Not that boring drill.
My boy Denzel.
Not that boring.
The
drill.
Warden.
How many things is this here? This might be this play. No, it's not this.
Touchdown.
Dude, don't run into the goalpost. What do you like?
Who is
act
80?
like you've been there before 89.
I'm mad about these wide receivers.
Running into the goalpost. I got random white dudes with weird numbers. There's
That's
little
the guy,
Dustin Fox 37 right there.
That's the guy from Minute.
All right, what is happening? Where is that the same montage you just ran?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. There was one thing where guys like broke up a pass or did something. Is that coming up?
Probably.
Maybe it's this.
I'm not sure. This is a handoff to Quinn.
Oh, that's real practice. Seeing a running back get handed a ball with nobody
This is
playing.
what they do. What do you want?
And this is what we're reading into. All right,
That's my point.
Maybe this is it. Watch this. Watch this embarrassing thing that happens after this play. Watch this. How embarrassing is this? Oh, my God. I mean, look at those clowns. That's clown behavior right there. What is that?
Celebrate a PBU?
It's a practice where we're not tackling and they got a choreographed dance.
Hey, cool it off.
Cool me off.
Cool it off. You practice how you play.
That's what it's about doing the celebration. We're going to have a choreographed celebration.
Boy,
what did they even do?
Boy, listen, you got to enjoy what you're doing, all right? Like, we out here for an hour and a half. It's 80
my
degrees.
God, a whole hour and a half?
Maybe 2. It's 80 degrees on a random June day.
It ain't 2. It ain't 2.
Doug Deacon was practicing. Doug Deacon was practicing 15 hours a day.
If I make a play in practice, it's like I just made a play in the Super Bowl. I'm celebrating. I'm doing everything. I might get a delay. They might have to pull me off the field because I'm doing the whole people's elbow routine. How about that?